Oh, the struggle is real. I've been staying up late because I had my son and his family and the grandbaby over, and now I'm trying to like wake up early again. Well, I still have some vacation days to acclimate, so that should be interesting. And in a case for those of you joining me from other places, good evening or good afternoon. All my friends in the Western Hemisphere, good morning. I had a few random thoughts on 2025. Those of you who follow me, the other day I put an absolutely sophomoric post on the platforms. It was basically stole someone's meme. Hey, Celtic Grandma, good morning. I stole someone else's meme, and all it had was Doc and Marty McFly from Back to the Future. Hey, oops. And it has, Doc, what happened in 2020? And then Doc replies, there was a flu and everyone became retarded commies. And this was absolutely like a 12-year-old's post, right? It was purely meant to be a shit. And TikTok took it down because the word retarded could be offensive to people with disabilities. And I'm like, okay, I didn't think of that. I was more doing like political antagonizing. But it stayed up on YouTube and, on the other platforms. But on Instagram, holy cow, people lost their minds. They were angry. I mean, ugly, ugly. And then they started arguing with each other. And it occurred to me the Facebook, Mr. Zuckerberg's platform, specifically channels things that will rile people up to folks. It's not based on what you like or don't like, oh, I subscribe to these people, I want to listen to them. So hey, good morning, Coffee. Good morning, Loretta. So if you learn anything in 2025, Instagram and Facebook are meant to cause problems. That's all they do. I've also noticed this personally. I have friends from college. I'll post my dogs, I'll post cooking, no roaming prepper stuff. A lot of my college friends have no idea I do that. But I'm putting, generic, normal family posts. And then I'll put one post about politics and all the college kids see it. Because most of them are very, very left. Like one calls himself a socialist outright, the 50-year-old socialist. But he grew up with a lot of money, which is ironic. Him and his little estate. Anyway, but you don't, hey, Texas Redleg, what's going on? Good morning. But that algorithm on Instagram and Facebook, it doesn't channel content you'd like so you could watch it the way YouTube and kind of TikTok does. Even though TikTok kind of took me down because one of the words was like offensive to disabilities, which again, I didn't think of. I was just being a turd. But Insta, holy crap. Now I can post 20 things about my dogs and cooking, and I'll bet you 90% of these people who came at me throwing insults would never see those posts. But I put that and I tagged hashtag communism, hashtag Marxism sucks. Ooh, wow. Damn. And I wonder how many of them actually read the Communist Manifesto like I did. So, there's that. But anyway, hey, Royal Lioness, how are you? But I had some thoughts that got me thinking about 2025. I'm like, man, people will still freak out. I guess that'll never change. And I probably knew this deep down inside. People like that never change. Their reaction to something that happens is to freak out and go to the extremes immediately. And that the masks, the hoarding of toilet paper, filling a tarp with gasoline in your pickup truck, an open tarp. I post jokes of the day, no politics, I don't argue with people, so not worth it. Well, Coffee, what a lot of them do, the ones that are really ugly, not the ones that are like, dude, what are you, 12? I'm like, yeah, whatever. The ones who get really ugly, if you look at their page, they never have content, always a private account, maybe a dozen posts, and what they're trying to do is antagonize you to get you to say something so that they can report you and kick you off. Hey, Moon Sprout. Hey, Pilgrim. So, yeah, to Coffee's point, don't engage. If you are a creator or you're trying to be a creator, don't engage when people come at you with hate. if they're making a point like, well, no, you're incorrect because, you know, X% said this and 7% said that, so your numbers are wrong. Okay, fair enough. The numbers are wrong. And we can have a conversation in the chat about that. But the ones that come at you really hateful and then they start arguing with each other and insulting each other, don't even touch that. Don't mess with it. If the filter takes it away, let it take it away. Don't put it back. Yeah, they're probably either paid trolls or mentally ill people. How many of you remember Silence of the Lambs? For those of you, and granted, it's an older movie, but I know it's such a good movie that a lot of younger folks will watch it. The bad guy in Silence of the Lambs, who later played a cop in like every other movie he was in. He's the white guy. He's got red hair, but he's balding. Shit. He's a great character actor. Anyway, he plays the murderer. And, you know, the FBI agent is talking to the psychotic Hannibal Lecter to get ideas on how to find the bad guy. Before they even know, I say, oh yeah, Lioness, absolutely. No, not Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins played Lecter. I'm talking about the guy Clarice was trying to find, the, was it Michelle Pfeiffer? I just blanked out. Anyway, the young FBI agent was working with Hannibal Lecter, who's Anthony Hopkins, to find the other bad guy. And he's the one who would dress in the skin of the people he killed, like he was real psycho. Back then, when we saw that movie, you're looking at that guy going, holy shit. That guy, Jodie Foster, thank you. Well, it wasn't Anthony Hopkins or Jodie Foster. It was the bad guy they were trying to find who was throwing people in the well. And, yeah, the guy who plays Buffalo Bill, whatever his name is, that actor, that kind of person, when we saw that movie back then, you're like, oh my God, this guy's a nut. And now they're on Instagram and on TikTok. We somehow normalized not just different behavior, fringe lifestyles, but horrendousness. And I don't know if it's going to get better in 2025. Pilgrim, you know who I'm talking about there, right? He played the one who they were trying to find. And that was a great role he did, because that was a really difficult, that was a psychotic. That was a really difficult. Simon Northward, thank you, Coffee. Yeah. And it's deviant. But now those people are on Instagram, TikTok, and a lot of these folks will antagonize you. Actually, there was a creator on, it was a girl, and she used to do like cooking, and she did really cool content, kind of like homesteady type stuff. And someone went after her on, I don't remember if it was TikTok or Instagram, it wasn't on YouTube. And she reacted in a video, and she had 500,000 followers, and she got shit canned. Blew my mind. Because she allowed them to antagonize her. So the other day I did a live stream about protecting your peace. You do that online as well, right? I mean, I know people disagree and people want to have, hey, Backtrack, good morning. You know, people have debates online, and that's fine. That's actually a positive thing, to have difficult conversations. And it's hard to do in a chat, right? Because you can't convey a full thought to someone like you would if we were having coffee, or, you know, having a drink, and we could sit there and convey an entire idea. Hey, good morning, Alan. Good morning, David Mason. Welcome. But going into 2025, it's going to be a lot of change, right? So we have a new president. Now, love him or hate him, we have a new president. Congress is changing, both houses. Supreme Court may or may not change, I don't know. We have an inauguration that's going to get contentious, I'm sure. But we also have a lot of things changing. We're seeing people going back to the old ways. I'm seeing a lot of young content creators talking about having meetups on other platforms where they'll say, okay, all of you who like, I don't know, skateboarding, there's going to be a big meetup at this park, and bring your dogs, and we're going to set up cameras, and we're going to do like They're going to do like a interview studio. And so it's almost like the social media is flipping on its head, and it's being used by the young ones to collaborate and get together, which I actually think is good. So they get some kind of social skills. But yeah, it's, wait, what happened? Yes, you're correct. Google messed with me. Yeah, Google sometimes doesn't play nicely. Pilgrim, I am too. And in 2025, in my last video, I said protect your inner peace. That includes online. That includes people in your family who may be toxic. And that's the hardest one, because, you know, you're supposed to love family and care for family. But, you know, there's some people who've been in my life, my whole life, like, you know, 20, 30 years as an adult, say, you know, I'm older than that, but they've been in my life, and they've, and once again, F the American people. Oh, if we put $500 million into North Carolina and bid it to private contractors and said, look, you got $500 million, this is your job, and if you fail, you cannot get any other government work ever. If you succeed, we'll put you as a priority contender for future government work. Watch how quickly those private contractors get shit done. That's when you leverage the government to get good performance from contractors, as opposed to, oh, who's my mother-in-law's best friend, and give him the contract. But 2025 is going to be a year of change, and it could be good or bad, but that's why you live a preparedness lifestyle. Whether you're in an apartment and you have, you know, that little black folding shelf that you have to assemble yourself, full of SpaghettiOs and water and whatever you can fit, or if you have a full-blown homestead. I talked about that in another video. Those are simply different evolutions of preparedness. Just because you live in an apartment, you have 2 small closets, doesn't mean you can't prep in your own way. Because all you want to do is give yourself options. Thank you, Backtrack. You be safe out there. Be careful driving during New Year's. The cops have already gone ballistic. They've been pulling drunks over left and right out here in Texas. So, breaking down not having my cell. Hey, Pilgrim, have you considered getting a little CB, a handheld CB, and keeping it in the car? Because you stand, I know it sounds terrible, but I've had to stand on my pickup truck to get better reception because I was in the country. And I was able to call a drilling rig on a CB. They had a trucker there, and I was like, hey, somebody broke down and I can't get them started. And they were able to go to the drilling rig, and the drilling rig had a sat phone to call a tow truck. I mean, the whole process took 2 hours, but it's a cheap backup of communications. You can get a handheld. You can get them on Amazon, but I'd recommend go to the Pilots and Love's truck stops, because they'll only keep shit that works. If it doesn't work, the truckers won't buy it and they won't sell it, and it'll sit on the shelf and they'll pull it. Oh, there you go. Oh no. Yeah, that does. Yeah, it doesn't help if you have a CB and ham and you're the only one who has the CB and ham. Funny story, I was out with a group of the veterans the other night, because we're all in a committee at one of the professional organizations. We're trying to figure out our calendar while we were drinking, which was a dumb idea because then we really accomplished nothing. But I found out one of guy I consider very close friends got his ham license last year. And he used to be Coast Guard intervention guy and shit. And I'm like, he's like, wait, do you have a Baofeng? He said he has some crazy ass machine. I got to figure out what he got. It was made in Germany. It's like some Uber Deutschland fucking radio, but it's like Baofeng on crack. But yeah, he's apparently, I got a bunch of GMRS guys in town. So now we're trying to set up repeaters. So if something pops off, we can talk to each other across the city. And he was like, yeah, screw the rest of the people. As long as we can communicate, we can coordinate our shit. So I was like, I'll send up smoke signals. There you go. Can't find the good CB. You know what, Coffee? If you don't ground, I'm surrounded by dams. I'm sorry, Pilgrim. And it's all fun and games until something happens, and then they're asking you for help or advice. Because they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's like, oh, go away, no. But anyway, folks, protect your peace in 2025. And Moonsprout said she's excited. They're excited. You should be excited. There could be a lot of things evolving, right? The world kind of blew up the last 2 years. I'm super interested to see where it all goes going forward. Will they figure out the Ukraine thing? Will they settle down the Middle East? It seems Gaza, last night, I couldn't sleep. I went on the news, and there was a mass surrender of Hamas fighters in Gaza. Apparently, the Israelis found a Hamas stronghold that they missed in northern Gaza, and they were trying to like set up a raid into Israel, and the IDF figured it out, and they just beat the hell out of the area, and they had hundreds of guys in line being marched out as prisoners, and like there was a stack of Kalashnikovs and shit as they were coming out, and they had to lay the Kalashnikovs and made them take their shirts off so they didn't have a grenade. And I'm like, damn. So that the Hamas thing, Hamas may not exist anymore at this point. Hezbollah is not far behind, but that's pretty ugly right now. Syria, Assad collapsing happened recently, so I'm wondering what's happening. Where's it going to go? There's a lot of moving parts. It's going to be really interesting this year. Yes, the dude, I read that last night too, which is interesting because we pulled out of Afghanistan and we're like, what the hell? What was the purpose of that? Left all this gear, and now our MRAPs are going to fight with Pakistan, but with Taliban fighters in it. And wait, get this. Who trained half of these guys? We did when we were there. Now, why Pakistan? They're supposed to be an ally. Nope. They just made a deal with China, dude. That's to the dude. I was digging into it. They made some kind of deal for, I don't know what, with China. And all of a sudden, all that equipment, that $1 billion of rifles and ammo and cannons and armored vehicles, whatever the hell else we left, there's all of a sudden magically going into Pakistan to go fight with them and disrupt some Chinese shit. Interesting, no? So that's going to be interesting. And Pakistan's a nuclear country, so I'm a little worried about that. But yeah, dude, and I'm losing track. Like, I don't know if the tallies are, but there's two other groups. I know the Kurds are a proxy. They're pretty obvious a proxy. The Taliban, I wonder if deals were made that none of us knew about, and they're like, okay, but in a year, you're gonna go and fight those other cats. And maybe they also know, with the change in president, they're like, okay, Trump didn't fuck around with us. Maybe there's already been conversations where like, hey, when we take over, we want you to go do this because we don't like this shit, and we'll invest whatever in your country. You never know. Hey, True American Loretta, good morning. Wisconsin Farm Boy, what's going on? But folks, 2025 could be a really good year. It could be a really weird year. Be ready to give yourself options. Food, water, keep the basics. Don't run up credit cards this year because the economy, if it gets better, don't get in the trap, because economies do this, right? Plan ahead, make your purchases carefully. If you have to use a credit card, great, pay it down as quickly as you can. Minimize your debt. Try to keep cash on hand or other assets if you can. And it's hard, right? Because we all work for a living. We got bills to pay, houses to fix, cars to work on, kids to raise. Yeah, that's right. So stay neutral is a good way to put it, Moonsprout. Yeah, and we've paid off so much in the last couple of years. And I got I wasn't planning on replacing an air conditioner and a washer dryer in the same year, and both died. And in this part of Texas, you need both. So especially out here, it's not like I could hang clothes with all the dust. The clothes would just get dirty again. If I lived in Houston, I could hang the clothes out. They'd never dry because the humidity is 90%. But, yeah, it'll be an interesting year. But yeah, Well, and right, Loretta, we're just trying to survive. So do what you can in your budget. You have a lot of people are like, oh, if you don't have, and this pisses me off, you don't have 5 acres and you're not doing this, this, and that. Why even bother? No, shut the hell up, dudes. Nobody needs to hear that shit. You do the best you can with the time, money, and energy you have. We always talk about resources like soil or gas or bullets, but time, energy, and money are 3 very valuable resources we don't talk about enough. Especially energy, because you have physical and your mental, your psychological energy, which is why I tell you remove toxicity from your life, because that drains you. It's like a little vampire when you have someone in your circle who is making you unhappy. My dad once told me, my dad was a smart guy. He told me he was never worried about my friends. He didn't like my friends' friends. He said, because it's always the guy that isn't invested in you is the first one to start fights, because he doesn't care if any of you get hurt. And that was an interesting way to look at it, because you expand that to life. If a friend is a good friend, they're not going to say things to you purely to cause you drama, because it makes them feel better. A good friend may confront you if you're like doing something wrong. No, Wisconsin, that's not a bad thing. You know enough to maneuver problems. That's good. That's what engineers are. Honestly, we're professional trouble fixers. Like, because I'll get into projects, I'm like, I have no idea what the hell that is. So you need to give me like 2 days to figure this out. And then I start researching. I'm like, okay, I need an electrician. I need this guy. I need a welder. I need a crane. And then I bring the assets. And then sometimes I'm wrong, right? We go and we're like, yeah, that didn't work. Now it's worse. Shit. We'll send the welder home because now it's broken. Now I need a bulldozer. And, and it happens. But yeah, knowing how to get through problems is a good thing. But hey, random dude, what's going on? Absolutely. Problem solving is probably one of the most underrated preps you can find. So when you break something, pull it apart, even if you know you can't fix it. I love to pull things apart. I'm like, I wonder why that failed. It's cheaper to buy a new one, but I want to open this up and see what's inside. That's how you learn stuff. But folks, remove the toxicity this year. Prep the best you can. Pay down debt if you can. I was looking at a new vehicle. My vehicle's about 5 years old. I'm going to pay it off next year. So I'm like, it's a little bit old, but it runs great. Let me go see what the price is. No, holy shit. Y'all, the same exact build of truck, but the new one, right? So the FX4 F-150, cloth seats. I mean, it's a work truck. Still in great shape. And I just had all the body work done because of the damn hailstorm, so insurance paid for that. Had the transmission servicing done, just did the rear brakes, put new tires. So basically, it's in great shape. I regularly get over, 150 with a pickup truck. Pretty much all of them, if you do the maintenance, unless you get a lemon, they'll last. Chevy, Ford, Dodge, all of them. Toyotas are great. But I went to look at these damn pickup trucks now. Holy crap. And the interest rate on this one is 2.5, and now it's 9, even with good credit. Well, hell, I don't want to pay a mortgage payment for a truck. That's stupid. So now I'm looking at used vehicles all over Texas to see if I find one used and let the other guy take the depreciation. But those dudes, why are you? Hey, the dude. Hey, Robert, what's going on? Wait, hold on. Intergalactic kegger for New Year's. There you go. Yeah, Robert, absolutely. Break it down, learn how to put it back together. Hey, Farmer, what's going on? Raining good here. Hey, Billy. So, folks, take the time, problem solve this year. If you can fix it yourself without hurting yourself or burning down the house or something like that, do that. If you can't, or do the calculation, okay, I can do something else for the family. I have other priorities. or spend the time fixing this widget? Or can I buy a new widget, right? And then again, it's the money, time, and energy and knowledge, actually. So do I have the energy and knowledge and time to fix it, or do I have the money and time to fix it, or do I have the energy and money to fix it? If I don't have two of the three, I may just want to replace the item. You know, it just doesn't make sense. But it's super expensive right now. The inflation is still hurting everyone. Make your stuff last. It's the, you know, it made more sense to spend the money on the brake job, because I don't have a lift and I don't have a suitable place to do this work. And I don't have the competency, right? Because I'm busy at work, so I need my brakes fixed between like this trip and that trip. I don't have the time to do it, so I'll have someone do it. But understanding when the maintenance is due, even if you're not doing it, having someone else do it, keeps that asset in good shape so that you can either sell it later and get a new one, or you just keep this one. Yeah, the interest rates on everything are stupid right now. I don't even want to buy things. I walked into a dealership just to like eyeball the stickers, and the guy's like, well, would you like to meet a salesman? No, because he's going to annoy me, and look at your price. Out here, yo, look at the stickers carefully. So out here, they have the price of the truck. Let's say it's 50 grand, right? Which is really low nowadays. 50 grand. Then they put extra enhanced AC cooling, nitrogen in the tires, and window tints. And I looked at the tints, they suck. And they charge you 5 grand. And then they put a line item, fair area market, plus 8,000. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? So from the vehicle MSRP, you just added what, 13, 14 grand? So I'm going to have to go there and argue with you about all this. And then you'd be like, well, you already got 14 grand off. I told that to the salesman. I'm like, look at your damn sticker. For 14 grand, instead, I'll drive to Houston and I'll get an Airbnb. I'll bring my dogs and everything. I'll make a road trip out of it. I'll get an Airbnb for a week for $1 grand, and for food, maybe 500 bucks. And if I can save the other 15 and get the new vehicle, I'd rather do that. I get a trip and I get a new truck, and I'm still ahead 14 grand from you. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm hearing that a lot lately. I said, well, you need to tell your managers not to screw the locals, because we're just going to go somewhere else. I'd rather rent a car and go buy a new car than deal with this. Oh, there you go. Did a set of brakes day before yesterday. Right, the dude, that's why I'm looking. Dude, that's why I'm looking for used vehicles. I'm fine. Even the used vehicles are pricey. But, you know, you get a used, like a Toyota Tacoma or one of those 250s with the diesel, the good engine, not the crappy little 6-cylinder, like the good diesel, or the big the big engine. And those things will go, you know, 150, 200,000 miles. So if you buy one with 30,000 miles on it, but you saved 30 grand, well, hell, you're going to have that thing for years unless you're a psycho. You probably came out ahead. Because buying the new one, unless they have some special thing going on, it's absolutely stupid. I would... Yeah, Robert, it just doesn't make sense. Like, who the hell wants... I don't give a shit about nitrogen in the tires. You put that. I didn't put that. That's not even a discussion point for me. But what it is, there are a lot of young professionals out here. Not even young professionals. Young people working. And, you know, the energy sector and the solar, and they have a carbon capture plant somewhere out here. These jobs, the skilled labor, right? So the engineers, plumbers, electricians, welders, the heavy equipment operators, the CDLs, they get paid well to do these work out here. And so you got a lot of young people with a lot of money and no experience. So they'll go, oh, okay, and they just sign, having no idea what they just got into. And I've been through this rodeo before. I was stupid, you know, 30 years ago, not now. I'm like, no, I'm the one who's going to be a pain in the ass. When we bought my wife's SUV, she's an accounting girl, and she went after the salesman to where he got nauseous. He had to leave the table. I've never seen he was shaking. He was trying to sign the document, and he's doing this. And my wife goes, "You're okay there, honey?" He goes, I've never dealt with people like you. And finally, the manager came out. He's like, yeah, he's not feeling too well. And my wife said, did we make him sick to his tummy? She's such a little shit. And I started laughing at the desk. And the manager's like, what can we do to close the deal? And we gave him our numbers. And he's like, done. Let me double check. He came back with the papers. Like, it's done. Here you go. And then we went to the finance guy. This was a few years ago, and he snuck in an extra $3,000. And my wife redid the numbers and like, where's that other percentage? Oh, it was a computer default. She's like, you better undefault that. Oh, well, your vehicle's in the back being appraised. We have to find the keys. And I'm like, that's fine. I brought my truck and I have the spare keys. I'll walk to the back and drive my vehicle out. You can call me when the keys are found, or you can replace them. And yeah, so yeah, that dealership doesn't like us anymore. But man, they don't screw with us when we show up on the lot, that's for sure. Why don't you want to sell me this car? Yeah, no kidding, random dude. But yeah, we had enough of that. I got the last car they had of last year's model, 1.9 inches. And see, Coffee, if you can get a deal like that where the dealership, and the dealerships have different personalities. You have some that are like, look, all of these are high interest rate. They're going to run you between X and Y. I got these 3 on the lot from last year. We're trying to get rid of them because we pay taxes. If we don't get rid of them by this time, we can do 1, 2, and 3 incentives for you. Okay, great. Let's have a conversation about that. But you're trying to upsell. I don't get, what the hell does nitrogen? The Earth's atmosphere is 80% nitrogen. So you put an extra 15% in there, who cares? Put nitrogen in my tires, pendejos. I'm an engineer. Earth's atmosphere, we're breathing 85% nitrogen. They're just, yeah, incredible. Oh, there's a gothic kid on a skateboard going through the parking lot. No, don't go there. There's a pothole. Ooh, shit, he almost ate. Doofus kid, what are you doing? God, that would have been, I would have turned the camera around if he'd have eaten shit. Be like, look at the dummy. No, he kind of maneuvered through that pothole. Might have been a challenge for him. But yeah, I will go through a lot of dealers before we buy a car. So we're probing now to see what the market's changing like. I'll bet you by February, any 2023s and 2024s that are still on the lot are going to be on a fire sale. So if you're going to get one, I'd wait a few months. By the way, firearms at the end of hunting season, at least in Texas and Oklahoma, they start getting really cheap. So if you're looking for a good deer rifle, I'm not talking tactical shit, ARs and whatnot, but like a good deer rifle, a good 12 gauge, or a good revolver, something like that, some old school stuff, go check Academy in January, right at the ass end. Now out here we have hogs, so hog hunting is year round, but because they breed like bastards and then they destroy subdivisions. But yeah, if you're looking, you're looking for stuff on sale, once you get to know when they go on sale, it really helps you. But anyway, folks, look, 2025, protect your inner peace, save your resources, including the most important ones, your time, your energy, and your money, and truthfully, your peace, your mental and spiritual peace. Those are going to be big focuses for me personally. I'm going to focus on that. And, you know, I want, yeah, and that's a good point, dude. The infrastructures are not great. If you plan to drive or if you have to travel for work like I do your homework in advance, right? Have those trips planned out so you don't just show up and wing it. Now, there may be occasions you're going to have to wing it. Things happen. Then you go into problem solving mode. But plan out your trips. It'll make a huge difference for you. And yeah, my wife just texted me. She's like, I would like Chick-fil-A. I'm like, girl, you're in a car. Go get the damn Chick-fil-A. Get me the Chick-fil-A. Anyway, yeah, got to go feed mama now, apparently. I learned from Kurt to give them a fake number. Oh, no, I give them a real number, and then I tell them, do you have nitrogen in your damn tires? Because if you just hang up now. I don't want to have nitrogen in my tire. The atmosphere is 85% nitrogen. I can't remember if it's 83 or 85%. It's like, so you put air in the tire. That's what's supposed to be there. You just put non-breathable air. I think that's just dumb. Anyway, you guys be good, be safe out there. Have a blessed New Year's. If I don't come on Wednesday night, I'm going to chill out. I have a video this evening pre-recorded the geopolitical stuff, and then Thursday I think I posted a drone review. I got a new drone, and I haven't done an aviation video yet, so I'm gonna do a little one there. I need to get a GoPro so I can actually record me using the drone, because I don't have enough hands. But anyway, you guys be good, be safe out there, and protect your peace, protect your resources, and protect the people you love, and just be smart. Yeah, as my friend Mike from Hudson Valley will say, we're all gonna die, but it doesn't have to be today. So you guys be good, take care of your stuff, and be careful on the roads. There's a lot of stupid people out there. You guys be good, and God bless. We'll see you